Hello, today we're going over step 7 of the Be Well implementation, the spinal hygiene wobble board routine. I'm just going to go through some tips with regards to that out of the Be Well guide in the spinal hygiene section. So just this section here. This is probably my favorite implementation step of the Be Well guide. It is definitely one of the most active. So active in the way of it does the most, I think, with regards to function or improving function of spine strength, nervous system function, but also brain function. And that's hugely important with regards to why we want to stay healthy. That's to keep our brain healthy as well. So I've just shared my screen. So if you can just see there's the implementation step there. So Be Well. So those who are coming into the office this week can pick one of these up and use it at home. And we are rotating through these the 12 implementation steps every week. So the main part of this implementation step is to balance is a fantastic way to increase the firing of the brain neurons. So to challenge the brain to continue to keep those neural pathways connected, balance is a great way of doing it. Anything really intricate that we do, whether it be fine motor, whether it be gross motor, so sports, those things, that does help brain function. And really where this plays out is it's the same types of mechanisms. If we go back when we were young and we learned how to crawl, walk, use our fingers and things like that to grab things, and so fine motor, our brain was learning exponentially at that stage, and it was connecting millions and millions of neurons to make sure that we could do these things as we learned them. But yeah, we need to keep them up. So as we are getting older, as we are adults and we're getting older, so firstly, kids need to make sure that they can go through the developmental milestones. And as we get older too, we want to make sure that our brain is staying awake, alive. The neurons aren't degenerating or disconnecting quicker than we can actually keep them together. And this routine is a fantastic way of doing that. So basically, it uses a balance board, wobble board. You can do it on a mini trampoline. You can do it on a half Swiss ball. A lot of people do these on the blow up balls. The first step in it is standing on 2 feet, and that will be wobbly to start with, and then standing on the toes of both feet. Now, these are progressions 1 through 6. So if we can't stand on 2 feet on a wobble board, we need to keep it at that progression until the brain gets better, until the stabilization of the muscles and the spine gets stronger, and we can actually do it. So, and that's the progression from 1 to 2. Then progression 3, squatting down on 2 feet, as you see in the pictures here. This is step 3. Then we go to step 4, 5, and 6 is standing on 1 foot, left and right individually. Okay, so left and right. Now, what these do is they actually do feed up. So any balance work or any of this balance board work actually feeds up into the pathways going up into in the spine, up into the cerebellums, which are right at the back part here. They're basically called the small brains. They're two small brains sitting at the back of the main cortex, and they coordinate movement. I like to use the example of coordination of movement when if you're driving, for example. Driving in general is a huge coordination exercise, but also manual driving, so a manual car, which are getting less and less common these days. But yeah, back years ago, if anyone remembers how you were starting to drive a manual car, so your brain has to contend with gear lever, left foot clutch, right foot brake and accelerator, steering. So you're coordinating left and right brain, and that's all going through the cerebellum. So that coordinates. So it's a governing system. It doesn't allow movements to overshoot. It fine tunes them, and the more input it gets on both sides, the more quickly it can fine tune. To a point where, after a little bit of practice, we're doing hill starts and handbrake starts and all those sorts of things in a manual car. But if we don't, as an example, if we go a few years without driving a manual car, it's going to take a little bit of time to get back into that process. So look, this, for all the parents out there, this is why I don't look down 100%. Look, I do kids and computer games. I think they need to be managed, but the amount of coordination that they get out of those out of the games, the dexterity, playing them with the remote controls, hand-eye coordination, but computer games should only be done for a very short period of time. There are studies now that show that if we surgeons are now using specific computer games to up their skills in hand-eye coordination. It does help in sports. Hand-eye coordination, getting the brain functioning at different levels is hugely important. And it does show, the research does show that it does allow the brain to age longer and better with older age as well. So the reason why these are so important, the reason why this step of step 7 is so important is because if we go through our 30s, 40s, and 50s, and we don't continue to keep our brain sharp and really coordinated and open to new information coming up through the cerebellum being processed into the cortices, it's going to get older quicker progressively through our 60s, our 70s, and our 80s. And that becomes a problem with regards to memory, balance, walking, just even day-to-day brain function, day-to-day household function. So it's really, really important. So look, do this, try this step. I think the first thing to do would be to try, even if you're listening to this now, just try standing on one foot. Just try standing on one foot. If you can't balance on one foot, I'm actually standing on one foot now, I'm standing on my right foot. If you can't balance on one foot, we have something that needs to be corrected straight away. So exercises need to be done, etc. So try both feet. Now, if you do want to challenge yourself, you can stand on your left foot or your right foot, and you can close your eyes, and you should be able to balance at the same time by taking away the visual information into the brain of where you are in space. Now, a lot of our chiropractic assessments, when we do a chiropractic assessment, we do assess these. So balance, we do a couple of extra tests to see how well the brain is functioning. And these tests are hugely important in areas of concussion, those people who have had brain damage, but also people who have had latent developmental brain or the brain development has been delayed, or even has regressed, and it can actually regress in children as they are forming the cortices as well. So there's a lot to it, although the simple part of it is here. So we make it very simple to follow these exercises. The reason behind these exercises, though, can be very, very complex. So if you want more explanation on why we would do these, please let us know. We have a lot of information that we can impart with regards to brain function, why balance work is so important. The Be Well guide is available to everybody as well. We have manuals available in the office. So any more information, just contact us via the channels, via email, or our socials. Okay, bye for now.